Devin Haney asked George Kambosos if he's getting cold feet as opposed to having the undisputed fight with himself. What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. In this video, we're going to talk about Devin Haney, his recent tweet to George Kambosos. Now, I personally think they should fight each other. This fight makes all the sense in the world. I'll explain why in this video. Now, I noticed about 50% of you guys that watch my videos have yet to subscribe. Sometimes YouTube unsubscribes you, and I don't know what the situation is, but if you guys want to subscribe to the channel for that fire content. Now, let me get to his tweet. It says, Team Kambosos has had an offer for quite some time. It says for quite some time now. Why the cold feet all of a sudden? And then he tagged him, George Kambosos and Lou DiBella. My man Ari said they scared. I don't see any. I was just trying to see if George Kambosos was in the comments section, and I don't see anything from him. However, Kambosos posted a video clip of him training, and it says relentless work. Stay tuned. The biggest fight in Australian boxing history is coming soon. What does this mean? I mean, is he looking towards Devin Haney and looking in Devin Haney's direction? I guess we have to find out soon. George Kambosos has been absolutely adamant about having the particular fight in his homeland in Australia. He feels like, oh, okay, I've earned it. You know, I went from Pacquiao's sparring partner to becoming a unified champion in defeating Teofimo Lopez. So my next fight, he told everybody that his next fight was going to be where he wants it, and it's going to be a hometown fight. Me, I don't really care about the location as much as I care about the matchup. Oh, somebody got a Kambosos tattoo. Wow, that's pretty good artwork. That's dope. I don't really care about the location. I just care about the fight actually happening. And I think, you know, there's no reason for this fight not to happen. Devin Haney has been calling out the best. George Kambosos recently beat Teofimo, as I stated. So he's considered one of the best. You know, other guys want to fight him too. In my opinion, I believe they feel his style is beatable. But he did the dang thing versus Teofimo Lopez, and now he got the bullseye on his back because he's the champion. He's the guy with majority of the belts. Now, I don't care what the WBC is saying because they made the mess that we're in the world of boxing. And that's by creating too many belts and this whole franchise champion, which they initially said was a designation, and they said it's non-transferable, meaning whoever we appoint. As they tried to see what had happened is they initially did it for Canelo Alvarez. Payday, you want payday. And they didn't want the conversation to continue about Canelo fighting mandatories, especially the mandatory he had at the time, which is Jermall Charlo. So they had to find a way to stifle Charlo and not include him in the picture. So when they first came out with the rule set for this new quote-unquote designation, they lied and said that the franchise champion, we can only vote and appoint, our WBC committee can only vote and appoint the franchise champion. And even if the franchise champion fights somebody and loses, they can't inherit the belt. They later changed this rule, surprise, surprise, when Teofimo Lopez was battling against Lomachenko. So they're literally just making up the rules as they go, and definitely not consistent with what they initially told us. And then the WBC has the nerve to act surprised that people don't understand this concept of what the franchise champion is. But they're only in select division. It only appears to affect positively certain fighters. We still don't have an African-American black franchise champion, things like that. And they changed the rules willy-nilly. Needless to say, Devin Haney has been outcasted, if you will, or at least they're trying to outcast him in the world of boxing. First it was, Oh, you need to fight some better competition. Fight people in the top 10. He did that his last 2 fights. Joseph Jojo Diaz was coming off a great performance. Great performance. Joseph Jojo Diaz fought a lightweight boogeyman of sorts from the Dominican Republic, Javier Fortuna, and Joseph Jojo Diaz looked good, but when he fought Devin Haney, he didn't look so good. And styles make fights, and you can't take that away from Joseph Jojo Diaz. Devin Haney is just, that's the level he's on. That's why the fight looked like that. But we just seen Joseph Jojo Diaz ready to fight Ryan Garcia, coming off of that performance to Javier Fortuna. So styles make fights. Devin's style is, gives people problems because he can box. But for quite a while, boxing has tried to distract from the real issues and really keep certain people on the outside and kind of pitch to you what boxing is, and it's just is cap. That's basically what it is. It's cap, because they're telling you Teofimo is undisputed, Lomachenko is undisputed, Kambosos is undisputed, but if you look up the word undisputed, that's literally what they've done to the division. Does not fit the description. Undisputed, look it up. The word means not challenged, not contested, like basically irrefutable. Devin Haney needs to fight George Kambosos. That's the only way we have a true undisputed. The WBC can say, oh, Devin, he's the Pride champion and Kambosos is undisputed. But guess what? The fans are the ones that buy merchandise, buy pay-per-views, buy tickets. So in the public opinion, who cares what sanctioning bodies and people in suits are saying? In the public opinion, until this is settled, there will be no conclusion and conclusive undisputed. It's almost like they're trying to run Devin Haney out of the division and hope he moves up to 140. So I hope that's not the case, because I like when good things happen in boxing, and I would hate for that to be the precedent set where Devin Haney has offered to fight these guys. He's down to fight these various people, and the Kambosos fight doesn't happen for whatever reason. Another thing that's going to make the Kambosos fight look extremely suspect if it falls through and he does not fight Devin Haney is if you look at what's going on around the world with the whole Russia invasion over Ukraine. Lomachenko has signed up for, he's basically enlisted because he has a battle that's bigger than just boxing. So guys like Usyk, guys like the Klitschko brothers, guys like Lomachenko, and just the citizens of Ukraine and Kiev and different places have decided to, try to protect their land. And with that being said, my heart goes out to everybody affected and the people who continue to be affected. But Lomachenko, for the foreseeable future, we don't have a conclusion to this. So why would George Kambosos wait? Devin Haney could end up lucking out with the George Kambosos fight, because Ryan Garcia, he already really pretty much said he didn't even want to fight in Australia against Devin Haney. And this situation with Kambosos could be very similar to the Joseph Jojo Diaz. Golden Boy didn't want to make Joseph Jojo Diaz they didn't want to make Diaz versus Haney. They were pressured to make Diaz versus Haney because Ryan pulled his usual tactics and he pulled out and said he had an injury and he was going to be out months. And then when Eddie Hearn and DAZN matched the money, there was really no reason for Diaz not to fight Haney, especially since the fans wanted it, and he would be leaving money on the table to have rematch room, and Eddie Hearn and DAZN put up the money for the fight, and you would pretty much be robbing your fighter an opportunity to fight a WBC champion for the same money. So they couldn't really do that. So they were really pressured. And now the same thing. As I said, George Kambosos, I don't know if his team truly wanted the Haney fight per se. they were trying to go with Ryan Garcia, but Ryan Garcia, we knew he needed a tune-up or wanted a tune-up after a long layoff. And so I think the pressure is really on for Kambosos to make the right call and fight Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia doesn't make sense to wait because Ryan Garcia is booked up with Emmanuel Togo, and you have Lomachenko, who's enlisted for the foreseeable future, as I mentioned earlier. So what's the point of waiting when Devin Haney's available, ready, and it was settled the undisputed shenanigans? Let me know. It seems like all roads lead to Devin Haney, and I want to see the fight. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego.